right. Hello there, beautiful audience. Uh, Welcome back to the Boxley Brothers. I'm Ben Boxley. To the right of me is Jim Boxley.
Hello.
Tonight we're commentating over a nice little swimming tournament, uh, which is fitting because I nearly drowned 30 seconds ago. Let's get right into it. Acidic Wyvern makes the first move.
Yes, you were saying about the drowning?
Well, uh, I had an unfortunate incident
Mm-hmm.
involving a cup of tea,
Mm-hmm.
uh, and now I can't feel my nose, which
Well,
is quite unfortunate.
it is very
Anyways,
unfortunate.
Karandesh
Do you
is
want me to? Do you want me to feel your nose for you?
Jim. I'm scared. We're gonna ignore that for now. Karandesh has made their response, moving out a fire mage against this archer.
And Acidic Wyvern moves with the salamander.
A very acceptable move. Salamander, very cost-effective minion. The fire mage moves right up against it. Corandish clearly going out to the offensive.
Clearly. Now, what will Old Acidic Wyvern do in response to this? We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
We will.
Acidic Wyvern defends the salamander.
Mm-hmm. A very interesting play. And
Indeed.
Corandish responds with a wind mage of their own. A wind against wind, but
Wind against wind, yes.
the air elemental has nowhere to push the wind mage to. There we go.
Well,
Oh,
you see, for Acidic Wyvern, seems to be taking the time to think.
smart move.
Indeed. Very. It's the beginning of the game. Quite a pivotal point to start thinking. It's good to
Very
think. It's
true.
good to think of everything at the start of the game, and then let everything play out at the middle to the end of the game.
Very true. Oh, an advanced by a piece we haven't seen before, the Hydromancer.
Indeed. Very unique looking piece right here.
Mm-hmm. A a bold move, considering the wall of soul flares that has been positioned right in front of most of Karandash's board, and Karandash moves out a Stone Mage.
Indeed. What will Acidic Wyvern do in response? A very wow. Okay. Moves the
Oh.
Undawn.
Mm-hmm. A very strange move. And the Stone Mage leaves.
Acidic Wyvern has 3 seconds ahead of Karandish.
Indeed. And as we see here, due to the nature of the randomized armies, Acidic Wyvern has ended up with 2 queens.
Indeed.
Is that an advantage or is that a disadvantage? We'll have to find out.
We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
On Karandash's side of the board, there is an Archbishop Plus. Archbishop Plus Plus, actually.
Yes, that's one interesting thing. Carandash has multiple plus pieces, and Acidic Wyvern has none, which is very interesting to me, personally.
Indeed, indeed. Now, let's see. Karandash decides to advance with the Salamander.
Nice, nice. Nice move, nice move.
Indeed. As we've talked about before, Salamander, very cost-effective unit. Probably advancing towards the opposing Salamander.
Some salamander on salamander action right here.
Truly something you don't see on National Geographic.
Indeed, indeed. Oh, and defends the salamander, sort of, while also threatening the fire mage. Good job, Acidic Wyvern.
Yes. Very smart move indeed. Karandash, obviously, retreats.
Very smart move. Very good move to make. I would have done that if I was in Karandash's position.
Indeed.
You see, Acidic Wyvern seems to have made a shape out of all the pieces. I seems to be making more of a shape, advancing certainly more pieces than Karandash.
Indeed, Karandash's pieces are stuck behind these soul flares.
Indeed.
Once they're gone, the board should free up a little bit. And a move is made by Karandash's queen.
Interesting. Very interesting moves right here.
Indeed.
Really does make you wonder what's going to happen next.
On move 8, definitely anything can happen.
Indeed, indeed.
An attack by the
seems
fortress.
to threaten the queen with a fortress.
Karandash moves the queen.
Very understandable move, yes. Acidic Wyvern moves the queen, threatening the sulfur.
It's interesting. Acidic Wyvern hasn't come near any of the sulfurs yet.
Yes, that may be all about to change. That may be all about to change, though, because as you can see, Acidic Wyvern's queen is threatening the sulfur for one of it, and a Karandash switches with Stone Mage.
An interesting switch. Stone Mage clearly worth more than the sulfur, and yet putting it directly into harm's way.
Indeed. I feel like that may be a bit of a bait for Acidic Wyvern to take. Will Acidic Wyvern take it though? We'll have to see. We'll have to see.
It very well may be bait. We just will have to find out.
Acidic Wyvern leaves the archer at risk. And the archer gets turned from white to black.
Indeed, now we see the power of the Soul Flares.
Yes.
A very powerful unit, but leaving some pieces directly exposed by disappearing. Of course, this particular Soul Flare does free up the Archbishop Plus Plus, a very intimidating piece.
Yes. Acidic Wyvern goes for some salamander on salamander action.
And Commandash participates.
Very, very good move. I'm not entirely sure why Acidic Wyvern pulled that move. I'm not sure what they were expecting.
It does free up the Fire Mage for the attack of the Harpy, but the Fire Mage is backed up by the Wind Mage.
Indeed, indeed. So Wyvern goes to attack the Wind Mage with the Hydromancer.
Mm-hmm.
Seems
A bold
to be
choice.
coordinating an attack on these three here. It seems to be a trio against a trio right here.
Mm-hmm. Very well may be. Karandish is given not a lot of choices here, but to to move the Fire Mage, attacking both the Harpy and the Wind Elemental.
Indeed. And what will happen in this situation? Acidic Wyvern defends. Very interesting.
And the Wind Mage retreats all the way back.
Very interesting moves being made.
Yes,
today.
Karandish playing very defensively tonight.
I think they're both playing very defensively. Maybe Acidic Wyvern playing a little bit more offensive, but still pretty much 50-50 defense.
Yes, definitely spending a lot more time advancing the pieces than we saw last time. The board is looking way more complicated by turn 15 than it looked in the last game.
Indeed, indeed. Threatening the archer. Interesting moves.
Very interesting.
Yeah. The archer threatens the air elemental.
Of course, the only choice. The other choices were to put it right into harm's way of the fortress. So,
yeah.
Of course, the only valid move if the archer hopes to be saved.
Interesting move by Acidic Wyvern.
Very interesting. And the archer goes into harm's way of the fortress.
Putting the queen under threat from the fortress.
Karandish, of course, retaliates.
Acidic Wyvern defends.
quite an interesting position.
Indeed, indeed.
Corandish's next move could make or break this game, really.
This is
Very
quite a
interesting.
fragile wall that they have built up here.
Indeed. Just like the fragile wall holding my relationship with my wife Sharon intact.
Your wife Sharon? How's she doing?
Well, she's left me and she's taken the kids.
Why
And
is she
I'm
taking the
quite,
kids?
well, she insists I'm not a bad father. I am a bad father, not a good one. Quite disappointing after every time and monetary investment I've spent on this family, on their well-being.
Yes.
Anyways, after a move by the Stone Mage,
Yes.
a queen has put a Soul Flare in danger, while an Undying threatens Corandish's queen. Very interesting
Indeed.
stuff.
No, Undying reminds me of a game that I think my teenage son used to play. I think it was called
Mario Brothers.
maybe. He had this character that was like a blue hedgehog.
Ah, yes. Classic Mario Brothers staple.
Yep.
Well, I'm certainly not going to be hearing anything about that anymore, now that Sharon has taken Miles.
Why is Sharon
Ooh,
taking? What? Why does she think you're a bad father?
uh, you know how it is. You make one mistake, uh, drink a bit too hard, and the fortress crumbles.
Hmm.
Now, speaking of fortress, this fortress has advanced over here,
Yes.
and it is an interesting position
Yep.
uh, since ah, here we see the downfall of the Soul Flare. Uh, Soul Flare only works on minions. I think Carandash is finding that out the hard way.
Yep.
Um, ooh, creating a pillar.
Very interesting, I have
Very
to say.
interesting indeed. Fortress still, of course, uh, open to eat multiple
Acidic
pieces.
Wyvern takes a piece.
Ooh, very interesting indeed.
I think that's the first piece taken this game. Well, no,
The
it's not.
second, actually,
Yeah, the second, actually, the Salamander was taken from Acidic Wyverns
of course,
early
that
on.
early salamander trade. Now, the Stone Mage. Hmm. Stone Mage definitely hoping to do something here, and finding himself of no use. Well, the salamander retreats.
Very good move, I'd say.
Indeed. Salamander on its way to move up the board to promote. Of course, multiple challenges stand in its way, but
Indeed.
I believe in him.
Acidic Wyvern seems to be using the fortress to their advantage.
Hmm. Indeed. There's a couple options here for Karandash.
Yes,
Uh,
indeed.
I'm definitely looking to find the best of them. And hmm, deciding to put the fortress under attack from a legionary.
Good moves, good moves. The only choice Acidic Wyvern has here is to move the fortress away, which they do. Now, quick question, Bim. Can I
Yes.
please ask, what about um, you said about your son Miles, right?
Yep.
What about your other son Timothy?
Uh, Timothy's doing well. I think too small to recognize what's happening within the family. And yet I worry about him. Sometimes a child's mind is like a fortress, and the fortress does crumble. Speaking of, Legionnaire takes the fortress of Acidic Wyvern, putting the king in check.
Interesting moves, interesting moves. The game is spicing up. And the Acidic Wyvern pushes the Legionary away. Very, very good move, I'd say.
Ooh, very interesting. Uh, Definitely right in range for this siren, and the
Indeed.
legionary has no choice but to take. Threatening two frogs.
Acidic Wyvern seems to be breeding the queen,
Hmm,
or one of their queens.
very interesting. Um, Here we see power of the fire mage, demonstrated by putting the harpy in direct danger. Of course,
Interesting.
5.5 turns is plenty of time to evade, and
Just
yet,
like that, just as we see.
indeed we do. Um, but now, um, well, Grandish once again has a couple choices to. Hmm, very interesting. These soul flares, definitely stifling a couple key pieces in Grandish's strategy, namely the warrior and the archbishop.
And Acidic Wyvern seems to be honing in on the Legionary.
Hmm. Now this legionary is basically lost. This is a very, very hard lock on this corner. So one of the only ways, one of the only things it can really do is to take this frog. Hmm.
And
Blown
now
back by the hydromancer. Totally fine.
the
And
Legionary is now taken, pretty much.
yes. Um, but leaving this air elemental completely exposed for Carandish to take with the Realm Queen.
Indeed. And Acidic Wyvern continues with their movement, with their maneuver.
course. Now, the warrior finally has a chance to break out.
Indeed. I'm pretty sure Korandash has more material than Acidic Wyvern, which is always an advantage.
Indeed, a 9 morale advantage at turn 30 could turn into
Oh,
the thing Carandish needs to win. A
and
very interesting move.
Acidic Wyvern uses for Nexus to the advantage.
Indeed. Carandish takes the portal in response, threatening the Nexus.
Indeed. Acidic Wyvern has to respond somehow.
Very true. Queens are in very unadvantageous positions.
The pieces have been moved due to the explosion of fire from the fire mage.
Mm-hmm. Now, there's definitely a change in dynamic. Carandish takes the Nexus, losing the Queen.
Indeed.
A very unwise move, but advancing the warrior.
Yes.
Another
Acidic
fatal
Wyvern
mistake.
takes with the harpy.
Yeah, it's another fatal mistake. This really could prove difficult for Carandash to escape.
Yep.
They've blown their lead, and now are at a major morale disadvantage as the game moves closer to move decay.
Indeed. Acidic Wyvern advances to Brook.
Difficult to gauge the strategic advantage of that move yet.
Is quite a bit away from the rest of Corandash's army. Personally, I would say it's more advantageous to move the Harpy or the Undying, but that's just my opinion.
Indeed. Carandash sets up more stone pillars.
Interesting. Acidic Wyvern takes the Archer that was originally theirs.
Of course. And Carandash once again moves the bishop to its original spot. Definitely waiting for something.
Indeed.
Most likely for one of these soul flares to die, either by the hand of an enemy champion or when a minion advances too close.
Acidic Wyvern making very strange moves.
Very interesting. Very interesting indeed. And Carandash once again utilizing the power of the Fire Mage.
Indeed. Acidic Wyvern goes in for a trade.
And Carandash participates.
Stupid move by Acidic Wyvern, I'd say.
Yes, the game is once again equaled out.
Then maybe there's a plan.
Perhaps. Uh, ooh.
Wyvern
Frost
takes the
Method.
bet.
Frost Method dies.
Sorry, I thought that was a bet, but no, you're right. It's Frost Method.
Yep. Very noticeable by the freezing for one turn. A very interesting minion. Some people say it is overpowered. And Korandish moves out the Stone Mage.
Indeed. Acidic Wyvern seems to be advancing to the king.
Mm-hmm. The king moves forward, protecting the tiger.
Acidic Wyvern threatens the king, but also sets up a move for later.
Indeed. Korandish is under attack. Very adamant attack by
Indeed.
this queen over here. Currently, the Archbishop ++ is without defense.
Acidic Wyvern making the move for morale equal.
And Korandish claims with another Soul Flare.
Acidic Wyvern seems to be adamant on attacking.
Then Korandish castles father with
Indeed.
a Stone Mage.
Acidic Wyvern pushes Stone Mage away.
And the king decides to retreat. It is an interesting position we found here. 3 moves away from move decay on equal morales.
Acidic Wyvern seems to have planned this all out.
They certainly have planned this all out. Oh, hold on. I'm getting a call.
Are you?
I am. Let me just answer that real quick. Yes.
What's it about?
Hello, Sharon. Yes. Yes, I'm not busy.
Is it about the kids?
No, yeah, I can make it.
Is it about the nose? Is it about the nose?
No, Sharon. I'm fine. I'm doing adult stuff that adults do. I'll be there for the court hearing. Yes.
Adults do this stuff?
Yes. Yes, I'm gonna. Yes, Sharon. You don't have to. You don't have to shout at me,
Move the
Sharon.
Hydromancer.
You don't have to. All right, Sharon.
Acidic Wyvern takes the Archbishop with the Queen.
Sharon, no. Sharon. Sharon, if you're gonna fucking shout at me, at least be fucking productive. You're not doing anything better
Acidic Wyvern is
than
winning.
me. Sharon, put Timothy on the phone.
Acidic Wyvern takes target.
Sharon, I want to speak to my son, Sharon.
Horrendous. Move decay has begun.
Hi, hey there. Hey, little Tim. Yes, I know it's been hard. I'll see you tonight. We're going to a fun little place.
Threatens the Undying and Stone Mage.
And after we meet, we can go for ice cream later. If your mom lets us. All right. I'll talk to you later. Bye, little Tim.
Korandash taking her time.
All right, Sharon. I'll see you in 20. All right. Bye.
What was that about?
I've got a court hearing in 20 minutes.
Right.
Well, I'm off.
And Acidic Wyvern wins the game. For the second time in a row.
This has been another episode of the Boxley Brothers.
Indeed.
I'm Ben Boxley.
I'm Jim Boxley.
And I'm about to lose custody of my kids. Cheerio.
Cheerio. Good luck.
All right. Welcome back to Jim and Bim Boxley. I'm Bim Boxley. To the right of me is Jim Boxley.
Hello.
We're commentating over a swimming tournament.
Mm-hmm. You
Today-
almost messed up the introduction there. Jim?
Yep.
Bim?
I've never motherfucker.
Hold on a minute, right? Do you just want to restart the entire thing? Do you just want to restart the entire thing? Jesus Christ.